my very own husband was an extra. He calls me. They have us in a van. It's over 100 degrees in here. The guy won't let us out. It's locked from the outside. Hey, I can see you. Can you see me? Oh yeah, shit, babe. Yeah, I'll get somebody over there. But they're doing my hair. Ask my mom what she would have done. Pop fly ball to the outfield. Easy catch, Marilyn, but the sun's in her eyes. Marilyn, what would you do? Oh, I mean, if it were me, I'd pay to be a part of the magic. Marilyn in the penalty box with her first line. She's lying. So, round 3. Okay, not looking good for my mom. The following is one of the creepiest stories from the Bible, of which there are so many. Please Google the story where the father can't stop touching his daughter's feet. That's from the book of... Verse, yikes. This story bothered me ever since I was little. Starts out, slave owner. Oh my God, what? Tells 3 of his slaves, hey guys, I just had this great idea. I'm gonna give you each a bag of gold, okay? And you do whatever it is you wanna do with it, man. No, you do you. No, I'm not gonna tell you what to do with it. That's the whole thing, that's what makes it fun. I'm gonna fuck off for 7 years. But if I come back and you've done the wrong thing, I'm gonna kill you. We good? The first guy's terrified. He does what I'd do. Buries the gold under the ground, keep it safe. Money market funds and CDs. Second guy goes, maybe he wants me to risk a little bit of the capital and make a little profit, but something meaningful from the heart, like upcycled wet naps. Sew them each into dollhouse quilts. Makes a little money. Third guy says, I'm just gonna buy a factory with the gold and then I'm gonna enslave people myself. Force them all to make sweatpants that say, not today, Satan, on the butt. And he becomes a kabillionaire, as he well should. Now, who is the guy who does not die at the end of this story? It's the guy who makes the most money. Ask my mom. Mom, so are you bringing in any cash? Christ just needs cash. Christ needs cash. God is invoicing. Oh, no, honey, no. I haven't been feeling so good with the chemotherapy and the immunotherapy stuff, some of the lung stuff. So we're trying to just, enjoy each day. Mom, because she could make bank. She used to be a therapist. You don't know how to be that good at being a therapist to make a ton of money. I've been paying this one woman online therapy $200 a month. She just texted me, Christine, of course you're stressed. You just had a baby. And it was helpful. Of course I'm stressed. I just had a baby. What the lesson is, honey, with that story is that you're supposed to do everything you can with exactly what you have. I'm not doing that. A lot of comics sell merch after shows. Very thoughtful people have asked me in a nice way, hey, Maria, do you have any merch? To which I've sometimes said, oh, why don't you make your own fucking merch? No, you take a piece of masking tape, You write comedy on it? Slap that on your sock. But Mom, you're not bringing in anything. I know, I am a drain on the Lord's resources. But I was so mad at your father because I told him, to keep within our budget. He bought organic, he bought all organic. But then I had an orange, and it was an organic orange. I wanted to tell you about this because it was so good. It made me think of my father. And we went to Florida when I was 5, and so beautiful, and just the trees, and then how much work goes into it to harvest, the UFW, United Farm Workers Union, and Cesar Chavez, and the sun. And the next thing you know, I had eaten the whole peel and the label. But I looked it up on Weight Watchers, and it's still okay. There's still no points. The label and the peel are free. So I had to tell her, Mom, it seems 3 clear rounds, I'm a much better person than you are. Oh, that's good, honey. Well, good for you. Mom, I'm a much better Christian than you are. Oh, well, I'm so glad that you remember all those stories. That's good. God. I'm so much better than you are. Except for the fact that you raised me thanklessly for 18 years. You've allowed me to do extremely unattractive impersonations of you for another 35 years to your face. And you're also not judging me in public over a microphone. Hat trick, alley-oop, hole in one in the final seconds of the game for Maryland. I'm not professional. It's just Joy is my choreographer. All right. I have 2 hot chunks left, 2 thick slices. If you need to take care of yourself and need to go night-night, please go as you're okay. By me, I know I'm grateful that you came here at all. I'm grateful for the context you provide. Without your presence, this might seem bizarre.
Don't be mad. Don't you want to get married? No, nobody gets married for the first time at 70. No. Not unless there's a verified pension and a diagnosis. You don't get married. You just don't do it. And then I said, honey, you get married when you're young, and you have your whole life ahead of you, and you have all these dreams and aspirations, and you have somebody to share all that with, and then you grow old together, and you blame them for the shit you didn't get to do, and that's growing old. That's marriage. I said, at 70, I am not bringing much to the table. Maybe the smell of CBD oil and Altoids. That's pretty much it. They try so hard, though. They do try hard. My birthday last year, they got me a gift card for a tattoo. I'm coming to you. Now, you have beautiful tattoos on your arms and your wherever I can see. And that's your generation. And I understand that. Did you design those?
I came up with the design.
You came up with a design, you found something that could match your concept. Yeah. This gift card's for $100. So they're cheap bitches on top of that. They're driving me crazy. I haven't had it. They want me to give it back to them. I'm going to give it to the guy living down at the end of my block. Honest to God, I'm not going to give back to him. What are you going to have done? What are you going to have done? Well, I don't know what I'm going to have done. Maybe I'll have my upper lip put back on my fucking face. That went, but it's gone. It came off with the mask. And then I became an Amish man. I've never had so much facial hair in my whole life. That is not easy to pluck either. You can pluck it all you want, but honest to God, it hurts, doesn't it? Hurts like a sedative. You get older, it just doesn't, and it's long. It made me question my pronouns. I'm in the bathroom tugging on that. The pliers are not cutting it. I have needle nose pliers. I stopped tugging. Because I realized every time I tugged really hard, my left breast would go up 2.5 inches. So I just started tying them off. So anyway, they want me to have, I don't want symbols. This skin's not coming back, honey. I've lost a lot of weight, and there's not a spank in the world that's gonna hold this shit up. Do you understand? So I'm just, and I don't want pictures, and I don't, I told my niece, just to make her crazy, my youngest, I'd get help me with this, Tramp stamp. That's it. See, that's the perfect place for an older person to put their tattoos. Back here. You put your Social Security numbers back there. You put your blood type. In case of emergency phone number. You can put your allergies down your butt cheeks. Because there's a good chance when I wander away from the home, I'm not going to be naked. My sweet Irish niece calls me up. She goes, I know what you should have done. You have to have the Irish prayer tattooed on your body. I said, no words. There's no words going on this body. Are you kidding me? Someday somebody's going to be putting me on a bedpan, and I don't want that conversation to start with, hey, what's your tattoo say? It says faster. Honest to God. I get away with a lot of stuff. I do, and I'm looking at my friends up here with the silver hair. You have beautiful hair. Did you guys you went gray fairly early in your life or no? See, I started going gray when I was 18. Oh yeah, seriously gray. My mom and dad were both salt and pepper by the time they're 25, and they're almost white by the time they're 30. So it was hereditary. And back in the 60s, gas was 23 cents, but you dye your hair at the hairdresser, it was 25. That was a lot of money. And then it was $35, then it was $45, then it was $55, then you're doing blowjobs for rich jobs. And I got bad knees, so it wasn't paying off. So, and finally, when I first doing stand-up, everybody goes, you gotta dye your hair, you're in the show business. I don't care, I get away with so much more. We get away with shit. We do. I have guys running across the parking lot to open the door for me. And if they're not running, I'm going, hey! It's amazing. It's amazing what, and I forget I'm gray. Okay, this happened at the grocery store. I hate the grocery store, by the way. I used to love it. I don't like it anymore. What we got through, the one thing you don't see at the grocery store anymore since COVID is you don't see that little cart that looks like a little car. that you put the little ADD people in. And then you just drag them by shit they can't have. Until they work themselves into such a frenzy. Prior to COVID, if I was in the aisle with those kids and they're having a meltdown, I was the next target. Always. Oh. You're a fatty. You're fatty. You're a fatty. You're fatty. Whoa. Slow your roll, Tiger. Come on now. That's not nice. Don't say that. No. No. There's no Santa. Yeah, now we're both living with disappointment, aren't we? When they had all those kids, those little 14-year-old kids that they would hire, you know, to go get the carts that I put behind your SUVs, they overhire them at my store every year, and then they said, "Oh, look busy. You got to look busy." So they would wait for older people to start walking into the store so they could just ambush us. You know, you're going into the store and they're, "Hi, how are you? Find everything?" "Oh my God, I'm fine. Leave me alone. I've done this before."
Oh, I know it's a good thing, right? When you're happy and you're in a relationship and it's a good, but for me, I think it's very important to live together first, right? Because you find out, you know, your deal breakers. You find, here's an example. When he and I were living together, he broke his leg, which, whatever, I guess hurts, but shut up. So he was just like hobbling around the house, "Oh, my leg, and I said, "You need to take your Vicodin. Take your Vicodin. The doctor gave you all that Vicodin. You need to take it." He said, "Sarah, I don't like to take prescription medication." And that's when I knew. I was like, I need a Xanax just to get through the battle rounds on The Voice, so. But I do miss a couple things about, living alone is fun until you order delivery. And because I like to order several options. Maybe something will last a couple days. So I order several meals. And I know that when the delivery people show up, they're like, "Hmm." So I know they're on to me, but I literally every time I'm like, "Food's here." Well, they probably can't hear me. He's in the shower, you know, because we just got done fucking. The other thing I hate about living alone, I hate single grocery shopping because I'm not home a lot, I'm not in town a lot, so I only buy a few quick things when I'm out at the grocery store. And I guess I need to make a list, you know, because if you make a list, then you can look at what all your items together might look like to someone else when they're in a basket. So here's an example. I was grocery shopping. This happened in June, which will make sense in a second. But I was grocery shopping, and I was going through the line. I had everything on the conveyor belt, and then there were these two guys behind me, like kind of cute, like early 30s guys, and they were like staring at me, and I was like, "Oh, here we go," you know. Can't even go to the grocery store anymore. So then I was like bending over, like, "Oh, I need some gum." And then I realized they're not looking at me at all, right? They're looking at the conveyor belt, and that's when I became painfully aware of what was on there. I had 2 bottles of vodka, you know, with the handle, the kind with the handle. Tampons, Skittles. I was hungry, and 2 Father's Day cards. I was like, "Oh my God, these guys aren't checking me out. They're just looking at me like, oh my God, look at that girl with her period and her drinking problem and all those dads." But my friend who's doing, she's doing online dating. How many people here are doing I keep saying online dating like I'm 100, but you know, on the online, when you go in, you know. Anybody here doing it? Thank you. Thank you for being honest. The rest of you are fucking liars. You're liars. You're liars. There are millions and millions of websites and millions of people on them. Really, out of all of you, just those two are on it? Fuck you. I'll find you. I will. I have a great memory for faces and nothing but time on my hands. I will go home tonight and I will find you on Farmers Only. I know you're on there. Have you guys seen, by the way, the Farmers Only, the dating website? Oh my God, I'm obsessed with it. If you don't know what it is, it's a dating website for farmers only. And the commercials are my favorite thing in the world. If you haven't seen one, you need to go home tonight and you need to Google it and then maybe throw out your computer. But there's just like a guy in a field and then a goat runs by pretty fast. And then all of a sudden this voice comes on and he goes, "Farmers Only. City folk just don't get it." Oh my God, I don't get it. Which one are you on? Which dating website? Okay, Cupid. Oh my God, that's the one that my friend's on. Yes, no, yeah? Are you having any? No. Do you want to meet that guy? Because okay, Cupid, it's so funny because she's on it. She's been on it for like 3 months and she's just so bitter about being single. So she's been on it and like 3 months into it and nobody is like winking at her or poking her or, well, that is the problem. But I was like, I think that's weird too because she's a really pretty girl, like brunette, like, you know, big boobs. And I was like, that's so weird to me because that's all you see at first is the picture. He doesn't know that she's a raging alcoholic whore. So I was like, that's weird, you know? So I go, let me look at your profile, you know, because that's, you know, the picture is the first thing. And there's a really good picture of her. You know, she's like, she's by the beach, but then she's wearing like a businessy top. Because apparently research says if you want to take a fun photo by the beach, then you also need to wear a shirt that says you can be serious. Like people thought about this. It's like a mullet. It's like, you know, like business in front, party in the back photo. So I was like, so that's good. And then because she does have really, really big boobs, and they were in there, but they weren't out too much, but they were properly placed where a guy could be like, you know, yeah, I want to put my dick in those, you know, like. Which, by the way, guys, that's just for you. If your lady does that for you, that's for you. There's nothing that we gain. Nothing. I have had some pretty bad days in my life. And not once did I go, you know what would make this better? If somebody would just slap their dick right here. So she has this good picture, and then I start reading her profile, and like I said, I'm used to the one that's like, what are you reading right now? They don't give a shit about that anymore. The first question they ask, which I guess is kind of normal, they ask if you'll have sex before marriage, and hers said no, so I was like, well, we need to change that, or you're gonna fucking die alone. Right, is there anybody here, by the way, by round of applause, anybody waiting for marriage to have sex? Oh, you are? Oh, no, he's like, I'm saying whatever I can at this point. No, and if anybody is, by the way, I think that's great. Like, good for you. If anybody wants to wait until marriage for like a religious reason or a family reason, good, you should. You know, it's just not for me. I feel like I need to know that I'm sexually compatible with somebody before I agree to spend the rest of my life with them, right? Like, what if I agree to that bullshit? What if I agree to that bullshit and then I go on my honeymoon and my husband takes off his pants and then he just doesn't have a penis? And that's not like a small penis reference, guys. Don't get all, you know, it's fine. We can work. I'm talking about literally doesn't have one. Like, oh, sorry, I lost it in a war. You never asked.